Hello, I'm Anthony. You're Stevie Wildcard. Deal with it.
I'm gonna do my best to say I'm Steven. It's gonna be rough. Like my tongue was like twisting over itself. All right, start again.
Okay. Hello, I'm Anthony.
And I'm Steven.
And gross.
All right, for real this time. Okay.
Hello, I'm Anthony.
And I'm Steven. It's hard, dude. It sounds wrong. Maybe I should go by Stevie J. Like just give myself a whole new nickname, like just rebrand.
Just rebrand on Kickstarter.
Just rebrand on Kickstarter.
Once a year, you just rebrand. Oh my gosh. Okay. Hello, I'm Anthony.
And I'm Steven.
And Steven and I are.
It's you.
I know. Okay. No, now I'm laughing at you. Okay. All right, here we go. Ready?
Good idea. What if I pause for a brief second after I say Steven and say wild card, but then you just edit out wild card? Oh, yeah. But it's for your sake. It's for your sake.
We got it. We can do that.
Okay, you got it?
Okay. Hello, I'm Anthony. Steven's just mouthing wild card.
Okay.
Hang on. Imagine this is why we need a script, Steven, because we can't get through one line if we're just making it up as we go. We're just like, we need structure and then we improvise. That's what happens.
Ooh, I got one.
Oh, what is it?
What if I say hello? I'm Steven, and then you say you're Anthony. And then,
I feel like we should break up, Steven. I feel like you're stealing my spotlight and this is the end of our relationship.
What if we just say our names at the same time?
That's not a bad idea. No, I kind of like it. Okay.
Shorter videos for Kickstarter. I mean, we're staying in those time restraints.
We're Anthony. Wait, what?
what was the word they said? For real though, let's do it for real though. Not like say it at the same time. Let's just do it. We got this.
Hello, I'm Anthony.
And I'm Steven.
And we are the creative team behind the new comic book, Deathless. It's a supernatural action comedy about becoming your best self and overcoming the monsters within / using the monsters within. Steven, what is our book about?
Dude, it's about like this like ancient magic spell cast hundreds of years ago, demons, monsters, guardian angels, basically, and yeah, like it based. I lost it, but
it's a guardian angel, Steven. We're gonna get rid of all of like the witchy people. We need those witchy people. But okay, I like half of what you said though. Most of what you said was good. The rest of it was garbage though, Steven. I don't know what you're doing.
What did I say at first? I completely blacked out. I wasn't even there.
Which one of us was me?
Go ahead and do your Deathless pitch again, and I'll pitch off of it. And I'll try to make sense this time.
Deathless is a book that begins ages ago in a world in which there was magic and demons and monsters and all this stuff. And a very clandestine group of cultists come together and they do their best to summon this ancient force and hoping to get like great power and such. But one person among them just sees the danger and does the thing that you'd hope that that person would do. It's hang on. Okay, so a group comes together and they're doing their best to summon a force to become the greatest power in the world. You know what evil does. And there's one person who sees the danger in what they're doing. So this person casts a spell, and it's a protection spell that summons a guardian spirit into a nearby statue to protect them and stop the power from coming to fruition. It works, but I'm trying to think of how to sell like the main story.
I got you. The comic series basically starts off like in the like hundreds of years ago, where this spell that is a consistent thing that happens in this book is cast for the first time. And there's these cultists and they have these stones and they try to cast this spell to become like these super powered monsters. That's their goal. But one of the cultists amongst them decides like, hey, if they do this, like this spells, the end of the world. So he takes it upon himself to cast a spell at the same time that basically bonds these two like magic energies together so that whenever this spell is cast, a guardian spirit is also summoned to stop the spell from being cast. And in the first incarnation of this, we see this spell possess an angel statue. So this spell basically takes on the form of the nearest like vessel that it can take over and slays the people that are harnessing the magic for evil. And this process has happened throughout time. Every time the bad spell is cast, the good spell is cast side by side with it.
So cut to modern day. Magic is gone. It's just us. Everyone forgot about all of that stuff. No one actually believes in any of the nonsense. One small group of young adults thinks that it would be funny to perform a ritual that they find, in like online. So they find these random stones and they try to perform this ritual. And when they do it, it works! And so they summon this ancient power and it fills their bodies and they start transforming. And it's a group of kind of gothy. Hang on, how should we talk about what they are? So this group of friends who all just play D&D together and are just like these like gothy misfits start having all of this start accumulating, growing, developing, harnessing, but so this group of like gothy misfits who play D&D together start just growing all this power and forming this these muscles and monstrous I don't want to talk about their monster forms yet. Hang on, I'm sorry. That comes later.
What if you reiterate the vessel thing and like what if it's these group of D&D playing gothic misfits cast this spell and summon the ancient evil from long ago into their
So this group of gothy misfits who play D&D together and are just normal people kind of ironically perform this spell and summon this ancient evil into their bodies, and it starts the power gets distributed into everyone in the group who's holding a stone. But when this happens, the guardian spell kicks into gear, and that spirit tries to find a vessel and kind of become the golem that will slay all of these people who would harness the power. The only problem is hundreds and hundreds of years have passed and there are no vessels to be found. So this guardian spirit enters the nearest vessel that it can possibly find, which is a man, for the first time. So for the first time in this guardian spirit's life or existence, as it gets summoned, ever so often to just destroy this power, for the first time it's in a human form and it's forced to deal with human life. So this man awakens and he suddenly has a voice in his head telling him that he has to go slay these people, and he doesn't know what to do, and he thinks he's going crazy. Like, what do I do with this? So he has to deal with that. But it turns out that when the man goes to sleep, the guardian spirit can control the man's body. So it turns out that the two of them have to work together. If the man ever wants to get rid of the spirit, he has to go through the mission and find a way to eradicate and annihilate and destroy the power and get rid of the stones once and for all. The guardian spirit's attempting to find a suitable host, and there's nothing to be found because it's been hundreds of years and not a single statue has been created for this purpose. So what it does is it lands in the closest vessel it could possibly find, which is the most unsuitable host.
The unlikeliest of heroes?
Yeah, the roommate of the gothy misfits, a hapless 20-something young adult who's doing his best and failing. He has a dead-end job, just like most of us, and he's just doing his best to get by week to week. And now suddenly he's charged to save the world, and not going to be good at it. So this book is full of magic and So this book's full of like magic and jokes and mayhem and ridiculousness. And Steven, my favorite part of the book is Bearholt. I'm trying to think of how to Okay.
Magic, mayhem.
This is a book full of magic, mayhem, monstrous unicorn teddy bears. Pretty much everything you'd want to see in a book in which gothy misfits get superpowers and become super evil. It's a classic story in which the characters find the strength within themselves to do the right thing and save the day in the end while becoming the best version of themselves. This is why I need to work on my elevator pitches. It's like, I hate doing that. Okay. This is a story about becoming the best version of yourself by using what's already inside of you and acknowledging, the power that's within, and also like just fucking kicking ass. I don't want to be too nerdy.
But the first part was perfect, dude. You had it. It was beautiful. Just that little first section you just did was beautiful until you gave up. Until you gave up just now.
But this is a book about becoming the best version of yourself to overcome all the madness that life will throw at you and do your best to be the hero of your own story. And that's what this character does. And in doing so, he has to destroy a monstrous unicorn teddy bear. Steven, it's the best thing in the world. We need your money.
And he's got a proper name too. His name is Beryl, like Gerald. Like he's Beryl the bear. Like he is Mary's little guy.
I feel like no matter what, it's going to be so hard to cut this to less than 3 minutes. I'm trying so hard to think of a good way, Steven. Okay. So Deathless is a story about people seeking power and other people doing their best to make sure that that power isn't manipulated and corrupted and used in the worst way possible. It's, we all see it. We all see it every day. We see the worst people with all of the power, and we see all of the people who should have some sort of power or some sort of say get crapped on and stepped on. So it's like crap, should I start? Do we start over, or do I just edit it all, Stephen? I don't know. I don't know.
I think maybe what we're doing is we're over focusing. So Juan,
I think so.
I think we're basically telling them the whole first issue, and we don't really need to do that.
You're right. Okay.
So instead of explaining what Deathless has always been,
right? Maybe we should just start with like
the group. The Deathless. Deathless is a comic about a group of gothy D&D playing a group of gothy D&D playing 20-somethings who stumble across a spell online and decide to cast it only for it to actually work. And in doing so, invoke let me type this out. This is a story about a group of misfits who stumble upon...
Deathless is a story about a group of misfits who ironically cast an ancient spell to imbue themselves with great power. However, so do you want to go back and forth at all?
What if you go 1, 2, 3, like 1, 2, 3? You'll read the first passage, I'll read the second passage, and then you conclude it. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay.
Our book, Deathless, is a story about a group of misfits who ironically cast an ancient spell to imbue themselves with great power. However, whenever the spell is cast, a guardian spirit is simultaneously summoned to stop the power from reaching its full potential.
Throughout time, the spirit has always had a host in various statues, but now hundreds of years have passed. And with no designated vessel, the spirit possesses the body of a nearby, unsuccessful, insecure, hapless 20-something named Douglas.
In order to rid himself of this ancient spirit in his head, Douglas must overcome his own fear and insecurity to stop his roommates from being corrupted by the ultimate power they summoned. It's a supernatural horror action adventure comedy comic, and it's going to be so much fun. We're looking for funds in order to afford an initial print run so we can have some books to sell physically at conventions and at local shops and such.
And with the ultimate goal of eventually being comic creators and continuing to do this type of content.
Yeah. Steven and I have been doing this for decades together, but only recently, only last year, did we ever actually do our best to try to complete something. And we completed our first book, and it was successful, and we're so excited to bring this one to you. So we really hope you all help us to afford our first print run so we can have this book and continue on with our comic book careers, because so far it's been great, and I can't wait to show you all this book, because it's going to happen no matter what. I know a lot of people get concerned about potential pitfalls and what might happen, and we learned a lot from our previous attempt at crowdfunding, and honestly, I think that we are ready to hit the ground running with this one, and we're already what, like halfway through with the book.
Halfway, yeah.
So we're already halfway done with this book, and we are ready to get it out. And by the time the campaign is over, we're going to be nearly finished with it. So we should be able to ship it out to everyone. We already know all of the shipping details, everything we could possibly need to know. So we're ready to get this book out to you. So all we need now is your support. So we really appreciate you if you're here for us. Read below. We have a lot of cool rewards. You can be drawn into the book. You can have special prints. We're looking into getting a stuffed animal made of Beryl. We're gonna do our best to get that done, but we don't know. But we have a lot of cool rewards. Check them all below. Make sure you share this with your friends, and we really do appreciate your support. Support Deathless. Steven and I would really appreciate it, and we can't wait for you to read our book. Anything else, Steven? What else do we need? We need like a beginning, because I know we mumbled through stuff before we wrote it down.
Let's just say, hello, I'm Anthony, I'm Steven,
right,
and we're here today to talk to you about Deathless.
And then it'll go Deathlesses. Gotcha. So, hello, I'm Anthony.
And I'm Steven.
And today we're here to talk to you about our book, Deathless. Deathless is a story about a group of misfits who ironically cast an ancient spell to imbue themselves with a great power. However... Okay, and then I pretty much already have that. Yeah. So I just wanted to make sure it's kind of clean. Wow, I mean, we didn't talk about the podcast at all. Crap, I forgot. Okay. So if you're interested in, hang on. So if you're interested in backing
Wait, stop. Let's put it in the intro. Hello, I'm Anthony. I'm Steven, and
we're from the We Have Issues podcast.
Yeah, we're from the We Have Issues podcast.
Okay, and then we can also do a tail thing where we tell people to go watch the podcast in order to see updates, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's perfect. That way we can say it later. Yep.
Yeah. So, hello, I'm Anthony.
And I'm Steven.
And hang on, do we say and we are from the We Have Issues podcast, or we are the We Have Issues podcast? Hello, I'm Anthony.
And I'm Steven.
And we co-host a weekly podcast about making comics called We Have Issues. And right now we're here to talk to you about our next book called Deathless. All right, I think that's pretty good.
Beautiful. That's good. And then now the end.
So thank you all for watching our pitch and being here to check out the rewards. If you're interested in seeing how the book progresses, regardless of how this campaign is going, go check out our podcast at youtube.com/We Have Issues podcast. We update every single week. We talk about where we are in the book, what's going on, what came up, where we failed, where we succeeded, show all the work as it's coming out. And so far it's going friggin' phenomenally. So I hope you all join us there. We're so thankful to have you, and we really hope you get to read this book.
So what do you want to do? What do you want to do for like the
podcast?
We don't have to do a lot. We want to do like, yeah, I mean, we do have a good first start.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For this actual episode.
Steven,
so you want to just ask what I did this week?
Steven, no, I mean, I wrote it, so record the thing. Now I failed this week. so I planned this, Steven. I planned it. I know what we're doing. I hope you enjoyed watching us fumble through our Kickstarter creation. That's how you do it. You just keep doing it and plugging away at it and fight your nonsense until you come up with something worth coming up with, you know? So hopefully you all liked it.